The 2026 Ford Ranger is hiding a feature so advanced it processes data faster than most laptops, and almost nobody talks about it. This is every new feature of the 2026 Ford Ranger that actually matters, ranked from the smallest upgrade to the wildest one Ford has ever bolted into this truck. Number 12. Avalanche paint. Ford just killed off one of its most recognizable Ranger colors, and barely anybody noticed. Azure gray is gone. In its place comes Avalanche, a strange, shape-shifting paint that looks white in the sun, light gray in the shade, and slightly warm under streetlights. Ford reformulated the metallic flakes from scratch, which means this color does not match any other vehicle Ford builds. But here is the part most people miss. Avalanche reflects 15% more heat than dark colors, meaning a cooler cabin in summer without touching the air conditioning. It costs $395 extra, and Ford will not even let you order it on the base trim. Number 11. Soft Touch Cabin. For the first time in Ranger history, the cheapest model on the lot finally feels like it costs real money. The dashboard, the door tops, the armrest, the pillar covers, everything is now wrapped in soft touch material instead of brittle plastic. The cost to Ford? About $150 per truck. The perceived value increase? Thousands. Buyers literally cannot tell the cabin is a base model anymore. Soft Touch resists scratches 5 times longer than hard plastic, stays cool in the sun, and absorbs vibrations Toyota and Chevrolet still pass straight into the cabin, the smallest change on this list. And quietly, one of the smartest decisions Ford made all year. Number 10. ActiveX seats. Real leather is dead, and honestly, most owners are not going to notice. Ford just replaced the genuine leather in the 2026 Ranger Lariat with a synthetic called ActiveX, made from microfibers thinner than a single human hair. Here is where it gets unsettling for traditionalists. ActiveX is tougher than leather in every single category. It survives temperatures from -30 up to 150 Fahrenheit without cracking. It heats up faster, cools faster, repels water completely, and lasted over 400,000 abrasion cycles in factory testing. Real leather usually fails at 120,000. It even kills off the allergens leather harbors. This material might just outlive the truck itself. Number 9. Power Moonroof. There is one feature 2026 Ranger owners have been begging Ford to add for over 4 decades. They finally got it. The first power moonroof in the entire history of the Ranger nameplate. Dual-pane tinted glass blocks 99.9% of all ultraviolet rays. It tilts open in seconds. It slides fully back at the touch of a button. It even reverses automatically if something gets in the way. But here is the strange part. Ford absolutely refuses to put it on the Raptor. Why? Because Raptors are designed to twist and flex over violent terrain, and a giant hole in the roof reduces structural rigidity by up to 12%. Comfort lost. Capability 1. Number 8. 360-degree cameras. Imagine looking straight down at your truck from above, like a drone hovering 8 feet over the roof. That is exactly what the new 360-degree camera system does. 4 cameras stitch their feeds into a single overhead image in real time with colored guidelines that turn green, yellow, or red depending on how close you are getting to obstacles. The front camera even activates by itself below 15 miles per hour in rock crawl mode, showing you the exact rocks your tires are about to climb. Trailer owners are reporting 2 backing attempts instead of 10, and before crossing water, the camera shows you how deep it actually is. Guesswork is gone. Precision has arrived. Number 7. Sync 4A display. There is a tablet sitting in the middle of the 2026 Ranger cabin. A 12-inch vertical touchscreen, and Ford built it for people wearing dirty work boots. The buttons are big enough to operate with thick winter gloves. The voice recognition system learns your accent over time and gets sharper after about 50 commands. The portrait orientation lets you stack a navigation map and a trailer camera on the same screen at the same time. Software updates arrive wirelessly, meaning your truck quietly gets smarter while it sits in the driveway. And the resolution is double what you get on the smaller screen in the base model. This is a tablet built to survive a worksite. Number 6. Electronic rear locker. Most truck buyers underestimate this feature until the exact moment they actually need it. Then, it saves them. The electronic locking rear differential is now available on every Ranger trim that can be ordered with the FX4 package. Standard on the Raptor. A normal differential lets your wheels spin independently, but the moment one tire loses grip in mud, sand, or ice, you are completely stuck. The locker forces both rear wheels to spin at the exact same speed no matter what. Press a button. Hear the clunk. Suddenly, the one tire with traction is dragging the whole truck out. Engagement takes under half a second. Off-road experts call it the single most practical upgrade you can buy on any truck, at any price. Before we reveal the final 5, here is something you should know. Everything past this point is where the 2026 Ranger stops behaving like a normal pickup and starts behaving like an off-road race vehicle that just happens to be street legal. Number 5. Trail control. What if cruise control could climb a mountain? That is trail control. The driver dials in a target speed between 1 and 20 miles per hour, and the truck takes over completely. It controls the throttle. It applies individual wheel brakes. It crawls at exactly your chosen speed across rocks, mud, sand, or ruts. You just steer. Behind the scenes, the system is making up to 50 brake and throttle decisions every second, using more than 12 sensors monitoring wheel speed, accelerometers, and brake pressure. A rocky descent that used to demand 100 careful pedal presses now needs 0. And it works in reverse too. Beginners suddenly drive like experts. And experts now go places they never could before. Number 4. Watts Link Suspension. This one is completely invisible from the outside, but it might be the most important piece of engineering on the entire truck. Traditional pickups use leaf springs that let the rear axle shift sideways under hard cornering. At high speed, that shift becomes terrifying. The Watts Link replaces it with a central lever and 2 trailing arms that lock the axle dead center, no matter how violent the terrain gets. The result is 35% more lateral stability, 15 degrees less body roll, and a half-inch lower center of gravity. The components are rated at 120,000 pounds per square inch of tensile strength, almost double a normal pickup. This is racing geometry, borrowed straight from the F-150 Raptor R, hiding under a truck most people will never push hard enough to notice. Number 3. 7 drive modes. With a single twist of one rotary dial, the 2026 Ranger Raptor becomes 7 completely different vehicles. Normal is balanced and quiet. Sport tightens everything up for canyon driving. Slippery keeps you composed on ice. Off-road softens the suspension to claw at loose ground. Mud and ruts dumps maximum torque to whichever wheel still has grip. Rock crawl dampens the throttle by 90%, meaning a giant stomp of the pedal moves the truck just 1 or 2 miles per hour. Then there is Baja, named after the legendary 1,000-mile desert race in Mexico. In Baja mode, the suspension hardens, the traction control loosens, and the truck holds itself stable at over 120 miles per hour across rocky terrain. Each mode rewrites the engine, the transmission, the shocks, the steering, the brakes, and even the gauges. It is not 7 settings. It is 7 different trucks. Number 2. Fox Live Valve. This technology used to live only in million-dollar desert race buggies and exotic hypercars. Ford just bolted it onto a pickup truck. The 2026 Ranger Raptor uses 2.5-inch Fox racing shocks with something called Live Valve. Inside, each shock is an electronic valve that opens and closes up to 1,000 times per second. 24 sensors track wheels, body angle, and steering input, calculating optimal damping up to 100 times every second. Before the shock even fully compresses, the system has already adjusted it. The truck absorbs a sharp boulder hit and a smooth highway bump completely differently in real time with no driver input. Operating temperature stays within 10 degrees over an 8-hour desert run. Traction improves by up to 20% on technical obstacles. There is more computing happening inside these shocks than inside many laptops. Number 1. Twin-turbo V6. And finally, the engine almost nobody realizes was built for a supercar. The 2026 Ranger Raptor hides a power plant originally engineered for the Ford GT and the Lincoln Aviator luxury SUV, a 3-liter twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6 producing 405 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in just 5.3 seconds, faster than most sports sedans. Both turbos work in tandem, meaning no lag, even at 10,000 feet of elevation where naturally aspirated rivals lose nearly 20% of their power. Ford Performance even offers an official tune that pushes it up to 455 horsepower. Aluminum block, aluminum heads, dedicated oil cooler, and a calibration that exists nowhere else in the Ford lineup. This is the only mid-size truck in America with over 400 horsepower. With supercar bloodlines, in a body you can take into the desert and bring back in one piece.